Welcome back to this special edition of the Journal Editorial Report. I'm Paul Gigot. Well, it's Labor Day weekend, the unofficial start of the fall campaign season. And as House and Senate candidates are busy courting voters in their home states, analysts are busy looking at the poll numbers and trying to determine if a much talked about GOP wave is likely to materialize. Republican pollster Whit Ayres joins me now with his take. So, Whit, welcome back. Great to have you on the program.
Thanks, Paul. Good to be with you again.
So I saw a poll this week saying that Republicans at the grassroots, not in Washington, this is Republican voters at the grassroots, are expecting a big victory this November. Are those expectations fair and accurate?
Paul, there are a lot of factors that lead to Republican victories this year. It's the 6th year of a president's term, which has historically been bad for the party in the White House. President Obama's job approval is mired in the low 40s and doesn't seem to be going anywhere but down. Support for his signature achievement, Obamacare, is similarly mired in the low 40s. The generic ballot, the sort of general preference for Republicans versus Democrats for the Senate, is roughly even, and Republicans have done well whenever it's even or better.
But I hear you saying that, yes, that wave expectation is correct. Is that true?
Paul, there is not the same set of figures today that there was for the Democrats at Labor Day in 2006 or the Republicans at Labor Day in 2010.
So what's lacking?
It doesn't look like the size of that wave. But what you do see is a whole lot of factors leading to Republicans, and particularly in the Senate, just the luck of the draw. There are a dozen Democratic-held seats in red or purple states. All Republicans have to do is hold Georgia and Kentucky, which I think they will, and then win half of those dozen seats, and they take control of the Senate.
Okay, but you said that there's not the same level of enthusiasm, if you will, or change that when 2010 or 2006 from the out party. So what's the difference? What are Republicans missing this year?
In 2006, you had real problems with Iraq. In 2010, you had real revulsion on the Republican side with Obamacare, the stimulus package, and the way the president had governed the first 2 years. You don't have that same sense of overwhelming support, but you do have a lot better candidates that Republicans have nominated this year. The National Republican Senatorial Committee has done a great job expanding the map and increasing the number of chances. So I think the general pattern certainly leans toward Republicans, and it may build to be a wave between now and November. It's just not present yet.
To win back the Senate, Republicans have to be Democratic incumbents, particularly from the class of 2008. Yet Republicans, if you look back historically, haven't beaten more than 2 Senate Democratic incumbents in any year, not even 2010, since 1980 when they won 12. Why have Republicans had such a hard time beating Democratic incumbents when Democrats haven't had the same problem beating Republican incumbents in some of these other Democratic years?
Paul, it is tough to beat an incumbent. You have in places like Arkansas, Mark Pryor, or Louisiana with Mary Landrieu, candidates who have demonstrated in the past their ability to win as Democrats in red states. Not just them, but members of their family have won as Democrats in red states. They know how to run campaigns. It is a tough thing to beat them. I still think we've got a very good shot in both of those states as well as many of the other red states, but this could be very close. We could be going into December before we know who controls the Senate, and we won't know until December the 6th when we have the runoff in Louisiana who actually has control of the Senate.
The other thing I hear from Democrats is that they are spending a lot of money, investing a lot of money, not just on the airwaves and advertising, but in turnout and in their affinity voter program that they used so well in 2012 with social media. You know, you get 5 emails on Election Day saying, have you come out to vote yet? Can I get you a car? What can I do to get you to the polls? And that investment, they're so much better on the technology than Republicans. Could this be the Democratic secret weapon that lets them hold the Senate this year?
Well, it certainly helped them in 2012. But I think Reince Priebus and the RNC have made major strides in improving the Republican technology. And Keep in mind the turnout mechanisms can only get you so far. They can make a difference of a point or two. They're not going to make a difference of 4 or 6 or 8 points.
All right, let me put you on the spot here, Whit. Are Republicans going to gain seats in the House, number one?
They may gain a few. They won so many in 2010, there are not a lot of winnable seats left, but they may gain a few.
Gain a few. All right, in the Senate, will Republicans get the 6 seats they need to take control of the Senate?
If you force me to say today, the answer is yes. It's certainly better than 50-50. It's probably more like a 60-40 chance today that Republicans take over.
Is it possible that they could even build on that and get as many as 10?
If they have as many as 10, it really will be the result of a wave developing. When you win that many, you win a whole lot of states by a very few points, but that's certainly in the realm of possibility this year for Republicans.
Quickly, do you have one surprise seat you're looking at that could upset us all?
Well, let me go with my friend Ed Gillespie in Virginia. He's running a great campaign. It's an uphill climb, but he's a very, very good candidate and a very, very fine strategist.
Running against incumbent Mark Warner in Virginia. All right, thank you, Whit.